Well, hello again, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the GPWS.
Talk tick, talk tick, talk tick.
Well, now it's almost 12 o'clock and I'm here in a stew. Should I stay or go back home? I don't know what to do. One thing that I know for sure, that girl and I are through. Still hearing tick-tock, tick, tick-tock, tick-tock, tick, tick-tock, tick-tock, tick, tick-tock, tick.
Talk tick, talk tick, talk tick.
Tick-tock,
Today we have a very interesting clock to look at. For those of you who've been watching my channel, you would have seen this on the GPWS Shorts video where I was covering some projects, and this was one of the projects covered on that. And this clock was also featured in the homebrew ultrasonic cleaning stuff. It was dumb of me to do experiments on I guess a rarer Westclox. I mean, the movement's not really rare, but the case more so is. Now, it looks like your average Duracase Sleep-Meter. Well, not actually, those themselves aren't average. But this looks like one of the Duracase Sleep-Meter styles until you realize, hang on, I've never seen this variant. Like, this dial variant isn't, you never see this dial. The case is different, hands are, I think, the same. And there's some other little differences here and there as well. And, none of the square Duracase Sleep-Meters look like this one. So you must be asking yourselves, well, what the heck is this? Is this rare? I would think I don't know if it's rare, but it's most certainly uncommon. It's one of the more uncommon clocks, and it's a really nice one to have. I found it in the middle of nowhere in some antique store that I was at, and I also picked up that Big Ben Style 5 loud alarm, which you saw in Alarming Antiques there. And that has since been completely redone and everything, but yeah, no, these two clocks, I think I paid $15 for each one. So that's not the full-blown retail $60, nonsense there, and this is Canadian dollars as well. So anyways, I'm pretty sure this is a Canadian exclusive. I found it in the middle of nowhere. Often you find the best stuff in the middle of nowhere. So what's wrong with this one? Okay, well, first of all, it didn't come with a alarm. It didn't come with a key for the alarm train. And obviously I put a key on. This isn't the right key. Here's the original key for the time train. And if you wind it up, hang on, viewers, the spring broke. Yes, viewers, the spring in this broke on the time train, and for some reason the alarm train has an issue as well. So we've got to correct this, and I just serviced this thing too. So I didn't fix the alarm issue. That was dumb of me, again, because by the time I had, and viewers, make sure to test your clocks and stuff as you're kind of going along. I didn't test this. I just kind of put this together and assumed, okay, the alarm works. And I get it together, the alarm doesn't work. Well, the time worked at the time. The time side did work until the spring broke. So I figured, you know what, let's just kill two birds with one stone, fix the time. Well, we're going to replace the spring on this side, and then we're going to see what the heck's wrong with the other side of this. So anyway, yeah, this is one of the harder clocks to find, and it's one you definitely want running if you have one. Thankfully, in our Alarming Antiques saga that we were doing there, and I misidentified these movements here as a Style 66 movement. No, they are not the Style 66 movements. They went with the Ben-Hur, they went with the Westclox Sleep-Meter, hence why one of those movements is in this. you can see me. Hey, that's a nice dial. The chrome on there, I really like that. Anyways, these movements are fairly, they're around, and with that massive lot of stuff I picked up, I got about 4 or 5 of these in there. So I don't know where the time spring is for this particular one. I took the hairspring and balance wheel out of this because it was just flopping around. And yes, there's no gears or anything, and I don't know where the spring is. Obviously the alarm spring is here. Is present. I don't know. I want to find that, hopefully, and maybe put it into this clock, because I don't want to pull apart one of the other ones. We will if we have to. I don't know. There's 5 of these movements. We'll experiment with which one we want to part out for the sake of this one. And that's why getting parts clocks is a great thing to have, or a great thing to get, because you can repair ones like this. So anyway, let's get into it. Okay, so obviously we got to take our keys off, even though this one's the wrong key, and it does fit. It fits fairly loose, but it still fits. I don't know. I don't know if there's a random screw in there. I don't know what that is. I just have plenty of parts cups and stuff lying around. Slim chance you're gonna lose the keys, but you know, I'd rather keep track of all this stuff. And this alarm setting dial here, this is pretty unique. If you turn this backwards, obviously it unscrews like all the other clocks, but still, you know. That's a dial which, I don't know, I think all the Duracase sleep meters have that, but still, that's a more unique alarm to have on the back. And obviously the hand comes off. Maybe it doesn't want to come off this time. And I know this knob here, this just stays with the back plate. This interferes with the, I don't know how this interacts with the movement, but it just stays with the back plate. Okay, I give up on that. We're just going to take this off, take the back off. You know, there's 4 screws. There was a screw here as well. There was one here. There's still 2 of them here. The threads are stripped in that one, so the screw's gone, sadly. That's the only real damage to this movement other than the paint being missing on here. As you can see, this was painted black at one point, but in not at one point, 1935, because as I said, I've been in here before and I checked the date. Speaking of which, we'll see on our parts movements, if this has the same movement as all of them, and it has a date, shouldn't they all have dates? I was struggling to find dates in the Alarming Antiques series, so I don't know. I'll check them all again to see when they're all made, if they even have date codes on them. I don't know. Get this off. This one's threads are kind of iffy. I don't know. Maybe replacing the back plate wouldn't be a terrible, you know, thing to do here either. Oh. Okay. There's a screw there. Here we go. Take this on off. Oh, there goes that. Take our back plate off. And in you go. Oh, here's, oh, almost. Well, this thing's interfering. This crazy alarm hand. There we go, viewers. I had to get at it with a magnetic screwdriver there. And all the exterior case parts, I know I put them in here, but I can actually just dump them in that container there. And go with that. Okay, let's see what we've got in here. There's the back. See that? This just stays with the plate. So that's good. That's nice. You don't have to worry about losing that or anything. And I believe it interferes with the alarm hammer, which is like right over here. Oh yeah, it stops this. Okay. As you can see, this is a style 66. Or I'm sorry. Oh my goodness. A sleep meter movement, not a style 66. I'm gonna pay for that the rest of my life because I keep saying that. Oh, it's dopey of me. Okay. Anyway, here's a case. Oh, there's the glass that just came out. It's got this nice. Well, it's got this. You know, it's got the glass there, and that's not broken. You'd hate to get that. Or hate to break that. Then, of course, you got a bezel. This is a very kind of a tension. I don't know. It's held together by tension because you screw this movement in, so it's pressing up against this bezel, which holds the glass in. And there's the case, and I see they painted this black on the inside a little bit there. I don't know. It's a really neat clock. This one, I like this. And of course, here's the dial and hands, which we can just pull off. These should be loose in this particular case, because I've been in here before, and I think I've been in here a few times. Anyway, usually they won't just pull off like this. That's just because they're already kind of loose. And the dial, you know, it has the tabs here, so this just pulls right off like that. And here's our movement, which is fairly clean. I should hope it's clean. I don't know, viewers, what do you think? This is a Gregola Productions clean movement, so I don't know. How does it look? Not clean? Clean? I thought it was clean. None of this comes off, or does it? Oh no, I'm just scratching it. Nice. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I wasn't pleased with that. That's a little bit of corrosion, but other than that, we're cleaned up and all running and everything. Okay, I think what we'll do now is, because there's no removable mainspring, sadly, you can't just take the barrel out. That's a shame. We have to take the whole clock apart to get to it. So, oh, happy day, am I right? I think what we'll do first is kind of stand it up. Oh. Maybe I can... Okay, I've got it in a cap here. You can kind of... Oh. Okay, what I'm doing is I put this in this little cap here. It's kind of a loose fit, but it still stands up. That's all I want. I want this thing to stand up so I can actually get to the hairspring and balance wheel. Correct me if I'm wrong, viewers, but if I'm going to take this thing apart, like I literally just serviced this clock like 2 months ago, I don't think I'm going to have to clean it, will I? Like I can just re-oil this if need be, because I literally just went through this whole thing and cleaned it up and did all that fun stuff. So I don't think I have to clean it again to get the oil off, because it's still new oil. You know, like this hasn't even been a year yet. Okay, be very careful. Get your pliers in there. Make sure the hairspring isn't. Oh, this is fairly loose. Might just be able to. I was gonna say, make sure your hairspring isn't like you're not pulling on your hairspring. Just pull on the pin and gently take it out like that. See, when I was doing this, I did not put it in there very hard, or you know, I didn't ram it in there like some people do. And I'll put the taper pin in here. A lot of people like to ram the taper pin in. I don't know why that is, but anyways, you can see it comes out nice and easy. Well, at least this one does. Now we can lay it back down again. And of course, it just came right out of the regulator. And I don't know if you guys saw that. It just kind of gracefully came out of there. Then we can unscrew it. Then we can just unscrew this. And I'm going to hold this just to make sure it doesn't go flying everywhere. Unscrew that. Make sure it doesn't fall out, you know. I think this should just be able to pull. Yeah, there we go. Make sure your hairspring is out of the regulator and everything, viewers, like I did. Because you don't want to pull that. You don't want to be pulling it out and then realizing, oh no, it's still stuck in there. Okay, now I'll just take this off. Take the barbell off. These are fairly straightforward movements to work on. You know, there's no frills really with these. Oh dear, there's been some oil leaking in there. That might be from the spring barrel. Actually, no, that's definitely from the spring barrel. Okay, well, it looks like... I was going to ask a question, actually, to the viewers, because I know I talk like the expert here when I'm really not. How much is, like, I suppose how, oh, hang on, I can actually see where the spring's broken. Well, for those of you, I'm just going to let you all study this for a second while I talk. I have a question here. Surely you must, like, be able to put 2 to 3 little drops of oil in the spring barrel. And I use the Mobile OW-40. That seems to work. But my question is, for doing that, why does, like, if you put, you know, you oil the spring up, or you oil it, you know, put 2 to 3 drops in, the spring in this particular clock seemed to still make noise. Like, it seemed to, like, kind of chatter, and, I don't know, it seemed to do a lot of thumping noises. And I'm wondering, well, I thought I had, you know, lubricated, obviously with bigger springs you grease them, but with a small spring like this you use oil. I thought I had oiled this up enough, but it was still kind of chattering and stuff. So have I, like, quote-unquote missed a spot here? I don't think I did, because oil has actually leaked out of this. Some of it has anyway, or maybe that's oil off of something else, I don't know. But there is oil, and here's the, I gotta count my wheels there for a second. This is the escape wheel, first wheel, second wheel. There's oil on the Babbitt metal on the second wheel, and this hasn't dripped all over the place, has it? Because I know, like, I kind of was wondering about, you know, springs making noises and stuff, and I figured, well, maybe they're not oiled enough, you know. Because with a phonograph motor, when a spring is having problems, it makes a chattering sound, and it's all gummed up, and the old grease isn't doing its job anymore. I figured, well, you know, the oil, if a spring in a clock is chattering, kind of like that, kind of like it would in a phonograph, you know, you think it's not lubricated enough, or you think the oil or grease is, it's dried up. I don't know. Is this making sense? I'm just kind of wondering. I've always seen it where people put 1 or 2, 3 drops of oil in a mainspring barrel, but I don't know if springs, I don't know. Do wind-up alarm clocks generally have spring chatter? I don't know. I do not know, viewers. I'm gonna go wash my hands because yeah, that oil leaked. I don't. Obviously, we know one thing's for sure. I put too much oil in here somewhere. Because this is not supposed to. This is not right. Anyway, I'll just rephrase what I was saying there. How much is the good amount to put oil, or how much for springs that need oil? How much oil do you put in? 3 drops, whatever. And after said 3 drops have been put in, does the spring usually make sounds like, I don't know, a thump or something like that? Because my Big Ben Style 5 was kind of doing that as well, and I'm a little concerned. Because, you know, like, these clocks have just been serviced, right? And I remember running these in 2018 without any sort of service, and they wouldn't make any thumping or chattering sounds, which is weird that they do now after I've serviced them. So is there not enough oil in there? Is there too much? I don't know. You know, as I said, I put like 3 drops. This one I did more than 3 drops for this particular one. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Apparently I didn't know that as well as I thought I did. And yeah, there's oil up in here. Oh yeah, okay, that's not good. There's oil in the lantern pinions. It has obviously leaked out. Yeah, and it's gone all over the back plate. Okay, we're gonna have to clean this. Because that's that's not quite right. At least for a rarer clock, at least it has a not quite as rare movement. And I think I can just take this off here. Can I get... Yeah, I can. I forgot to take that knob off, viewers. Anyway, spring oiling, Too much? Too little? Not quite sure. Oh, that's too big. And you know what, viewers? I think this is actually a good time to stop it for now. I know I had like some kind of stroke trying to tell you what I was trying to say about spring oiling, but anyway, I think you get what I'm trying to say, and we will disassemble this movement in the next part of this video, in the next episode of this. So, I don't know, it's a strange mistake I've made, obviously. I must have put too much in somewhere. I know that for a fact. But, yeah. Anyways, viewers, this concludes part 1 of the Westclox Style... I almost said Style 66 again. The Westclox Sleep-Meter movement conundrum service. The service, I guess. Anyways, viewers, I'll see you in the next part of this. So, we'll leave this all here for now, won't we?